All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Wadash, the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful electors fighting the good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So this lesson is going to be about you Christians, you people who think you know the Lord, because contrary to popular belief, the Lord is a God of judgment, So one thing that I can't stand about Christians, they try to make our power one way. Love, 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 love. And that's not the case. So for those who are ignorant of the Lord's ways, you're going to be caught off guard. Majority of people think it's going to be some, white man coming out the sky. And then, if it ain't a white man, it's going to be an Arab man. Over the years, the Lord can be everything but who he's supposed to be, which is a so-called black man. That's why they use terms like olive color, olive complected. Last time I checked, only olives I ever seen, because I don't eat olives. I think I saw a red olive, but green and black. They're the only olives that I seen on the majority. So which one is he? Now we use white and black, because those are indicators of the social engineering that Esau Edom created, white and black people. All right. So we use the terms for you can know what we're talking about. But anyways, so you got to understand what time we are in. And a lot of people do not get what time we are in. Matter of fact, hold on real quick.
The port strike has just ended, and the longshoremen will return to ports Friday following a tentative wage agreement. The strike went on for 2 days, almost 3, costing the U.S. almost $15 billion. The deal extends the expired contract to January 15th, allowing work to resume until final details are negotiated. 50,000 union members have been on strike since Tuesday, disrupting U.S. container imports and exports. That is all over right now. Though you won't be seeing any more of these videos. It's massive. Until probably January 15th, but hopefully not. Hopefully the longshoremen and the companies that they work for come to an agreement and everything goes smoothly. But was this a W for the longshoremen or a W for the companies that are no longer losing $5 billion a day? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and follow, and we are watching Paul News.
Now, I'm not calling this man a Christian. But the point that I'm playing this video is because the last video that I made, I always say, listen, we have to report on these things. That's the job of a prophet. And if these things don't come to pass on the day that they say that these things going to come to pass, they're still going to come to pass because it's in the scriptures. So they could put a date on it. They could, project, when this is going to collapse and all of that. But it's really up to the Lord. So the point that I'm making with this video is that every time something happened, like you hear about news or this going to collapse or it's going to be a famine or a terrorist attack going to be on this day. And then the day come and it don't happen and things go back to normal. So you can get basically get rocked back to sleep. You get rocked back to sleep because you're not understanding that the Lord always dealt with this. This is how the Lord moves. The Lord is bound to his word. and everything is going to happen. All right. But it's going to happen on the Lord's time. And all of these things that is foretold to happen is going to happen. And it's kind of like a warning. Matter of fact, it's not kind of like a warning. It's a warning. It's basically telling you, like, the Lord is basically showing you, like, these things that's going to come to pass. The famine is going to come. Uprising of the people is going to come. All the things that we've been seeing, you know, from 2020 up until now, all the things that's been projected to happen is going to happen. It don't matter if Esau Edom put a date on when he think these things going to happen. The Lord could turn things up at any moment. And that's what you got to be ready for. So when you watch these videos, don't get, you know, disenchanted because things don't happen when you want it to happen. So it says, by measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times, and he do not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So the Lord, he do everything in a timely fashion, an organized fashion. The Lord is very, very particular. Now, going back to you Christians. So you Christians don't even see, you know, like the dock worker thing. I mean, the port worker thing. All right. They don't see it as a sign because the Lord said that they're blinded. So I want to run through these scriptures real quick because this is supposed to be a quick video. This is a class of scripture that Christians, you know, I guess Christians don't read. So it says, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, I create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So this is something, and the reason I'm doing this video is because I have Christians that's in my woman's family, and I have to be around them sometimes. And man, it's so annoying. Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus this, Jesus. Oh man, damn demon. But anyways, and I'm just like, man, if even though Jesus is not his real name, but the Jesus of the Bible, obviously you don't know him at all. Okay. So, matter of fact, Jesus said, I think it's Luke 19:27. Let's see. Haven't read it in a while. This is what Jesus said. It said, but those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So Jesus is all love, huh? Jesus is, you know, he just a pushover in your eyes. He just, you know, come as you are. I accept you. I love you, my children, you know. Come here, you know, I sound like Michael Jackson, but anyways, but yeah, so the Lord is not a pushover. He's not soft, and you're about to find that out. You're going to find that out. So let me get this real quick. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. So, whew, boy. I'm really just trying to gather my thoughts together because it's a whole bunch of scriptures popping in my head at this moment. And I'm trying to articulate my thoughts to the best of my ability. So this is kind of like a various topics, even though I'm talking about you Christians out there and people who think that they know God. Matter of fact, that's a good title for you Christians and people who think that they know God. So, so the point is that the port strike is supposedly over. They got a contract to January 15th. All right. And it makes me think of the scriptures that said, pray that your flight be not in winter. Now, that was back in 70 AD, but the scripture said that it's nothing new under the sun. So, you know, things can pop off in the winter. And that's the worst time for things to pop off, especially for the people that lives in the north. See, people in the south, the winter is comfortable. You know, I went to Miami in November one time. It was 82 degrees. All right. So, but yeah, so let me just get this real quick. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So it's always a purpose under heaven. There are actions played out under heaven, which is under the sun, which is the planet Earth. This is where actions is weighed out. This is where judgment is weighed out. So the Lord, you have to determine what time we are in. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. What time are we in? And I know you Christians don't know. We are in a time to kill and a time to break down. These are the time periods that we are in. All right. And it says a time to weep and a time to laugh. We definitely ain't in a laughing time. A time to mourn and a time to dance. Now you see the opposite contrast of these scriptures. One is talking about now. One is talking about the kingdom. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to end it on that scripture, because woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away. We definitely in the time of lose. This port strike that was for 3 days is still going to cause some type of, turmoil, because prices is not going down. They're still going up. And then it's going to take, basically everything gets knocked off what's the best word that I could use? Basically everything is it's not organized right now. So everything is knocked off its schedule right now. So that means that it's possible that you can still see shortage of things until things, ramp back up, which will cause, scarcity inflation. And it says time to rend, time to sow, time to keep silence, and the time to speak. Now, the prophets, we are in the time of speaking right now, but the time is approaching where the Lord's going to keep us silent. Because the Lord says it's going to be a famine of the word. And that's when people are going to want to inquire. Now, this is the point right here. It's a time to love Christians and people who think that they know the Lord, but we ain't in that time. That's why it's a wise man, as the scripture says, a wise man discerneth both time and judgment. And it says a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So we are in a time to hate in a time of war. And as we continue to keep going down this path of life, of prophecy, suppose that you come that I give peace on the earth. I tell you no, but rather division. So the Lord is separating those that he want and those that he don't want. And even your family and friends is going to turn on you because they've been rejected. And the scripture says that righteousness hate wickedness and wickedness hate righteousness. So it says from henceforth there should be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. Because guess what? When all these things do come to pass and money get tighter, things cost more. I could see a family like coming into one house where they can survive. But at that same time, the Lord is going to be causing division, because remember, the elect is a very small number. The Lord don't want everybody. And then it's going to be time of turmoil, which means that when pressure comes, people, the scriptures talks about, what's that scripture? Basically, it got to do something with adversity and people fainting. People get weak in the time of adversity. So yeah, that's gonna cloud people's judgment. That's going to cloud people's judgment when things get harder. It's going to be a lot of arguments between couples, children, especially now. It's not guaranteed that your household would be saved, especially if your children are old enough and they know better. They know right from wrong, according to the Lord, because you told them about it, but they rejected. Or your woman could be committing adultery behind your back. You don't know these things. Only the Lord knows. So yeah, that could cause a problem. That could cause a problem in your household. But the Lord also will bless households too. Hopefully that will be the case for us. For a majority of us. So it says, the father should be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter against the mother-in-law and her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So this is what's coming, okay? It don't matter if they have a contract signed to January 15th. It's not going to get better. Oh, I think it's second Ezra 16-21, who think themselves to be in a good case. Victual should be so good cheap. Because every time I read that scripture, now this is just me speaking as a man. Obviously, things ain't cheap right now. But according to that scripture, in the time that scripture is, in that time frame that the scripture is being read, because it talks about the beginning of famine, the beginning of great death, the beginning of mourning, suffering, all of that, right? But then the scripture jumps to, things being cheap and people thinking themselves to be in a good case. I always think about the market of beast when it comes to that, because that could be the solution for things, for you to get deals on things. Or also things could get real cheap. And then people thinking, oh shit, this is what I'm talking about. And then, a few weeks later or a couple of days later, shit go skyrocketed again. And that would get people to be like, man, what the fuck now? You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, well, the reason that this is happening is because whatever they say, but I got a solution for you. So, this me just, speaking as a man in the spirit. But yeah, so just because things might go back to normal, that don't mean that you are off the hook for you Christians out there. And the other reason why I wanted to make this video too is because when I be watching videos about, the stuff that we watch videos about, prophecy, destruction, things like that, I always go through the comment section, Jesus on his way back. Jesus on his way back. So I'm going to end it on this. And then oh yeah, then it'd be like Jesus on his way back, or it'd be like when Jesus returned, sweet Jesus this. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? See, what people do not think of, am I worthy enough? Have I done enough? Have I actually, rehearsed the righteous acts? But no, you think the Jesus that you so love is coming back with peace. But he said he bringing a sword when he come back. You think that he's coming to gather everybody. No, he's only gathered the elect and destroying the rest. So it says, the day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or when he went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, a serpent bit him. So that means that whatever destruction the Lord have for you, you ain't going to be able to escape. You're going to escape one, and one going to meet you. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? So yeah, it's going to be very, very bad out here. So this is various topics, Lord willing, this expressing my thoughts in the spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. You understood where I was coming from, different perspectives, things like that. But yeah, so, hey man, as we continue to go farther in this thing, things is going to continue to ramp up. Hey, it's written, and I'm going to leave it with this. All the prophecies that already came to pass, where we can go into the scriptures and point them out. You think the ones that haven't came to pass is just going to stop? Like the Lord said, okay, enough prophecies came to pass. His children is still in hell. His kingdom haven't even been erected yet. So yeah, we still got things to come. And before the kingdom of heaven come with the righteous in authority ruling, hell and destruction got to come. All right. So seek ye the Lord while he may be found, and shalom.